Hello everyone, welcome to my channel SW Metro official channel.
Sister Wives, Christine's response to Kody's intense bride-seeking. Christine Brown, actress of Sister Wives, has finally responded to Kody Brown's extremely desperate search for a new spouse. Let's just say that she doesn't really like it and may be confused about whether or not her ex-husband is sane. Christine offered her point of view and seemed to be discussing how she saw the whole situation. That's not all, though. Christine remarked on how this might be a shift for the program and further alluded to the internal dynamics of the Brown family. Is this accurate? What is the point of this? What had she disclosed? The tea is pretty hot, so continue reading to find out more about this controversy. Kody claims that women are vying to be his future bride. Kody Brown made a startling admission in the first glimpse of the forthcoming season of Sister Wives, which was just released. He reported receiving emails from women to Robin Brown. The celebrity clarified that girls were interested in learning more about his family because they wanted to go down the aisle with him. Robin Brown was obviously shocked and unsure on how to respond. Her facial expressions made it clear that she wasn't particularly impressed by this concept. Therefore, it is clear that Robin was content with her monogamous life and wasn't willing to have any more females in her family. Sister Wives, Christine discusses Kody's look for a new spouse. After splitting from Kody Brown, Sister Wives star Christine Woolley no longer supports polygamy. She stated unequivocally that she would never consider getting into a polygamous relationship. She was therefore shocked to see Kody Brown discussing it in the most recent teaser. The celebrity said that she wouldn't even be able to mentally wrap up what Robin and Kody were doing. During her recent appearance on The Sarah Fraser Show, Christine Woolley offered her thoughts on the latest teaser. She couldn't even believe her eyes, and she questioned whether Kody and Robin were acting in this way only for the franchise. But, I hope not, because what they have is a soulmate situation, the celebrity continued. They actually do. That's not all, though. According to Christine, Kody had mentioned how much he enjoyed monogamy. She therefore questioned why he was so intent on destroying what was genuinely good. Christine also considered how Kody had been dishonest with her, Mary, and Janelle about his affections for Robin. She feels that he ought to have explained to them that Robin was his soulmate. I think they ended up just tried to hide how they really felt about each other, Christine said to the host. She therefore thinks that since Kody already has his soulmate, he shouldn't even consider dabbling in polygamy again. How do you feel about the confession made by Christine? Christine Brown's journey has been one of the most transformative arcs in the history of reality television, and now that she has stepped boldly into a new chapter of her life, the question echoing among fans, family, and critics alike is simple yet powerful: Kody who? A phrase that reflects not only her emotional emancipation from decades of heartache but also a cultural moment in which a woman chooses self-respect, joy, and a second chance at love over the suffocating weight of loyalty to a man who failed to value her. Christine's bold new chapter has everyone talking and crying, not just because of the sensational headlines or the stunning photos she shares with David Woolley, the man she proudly calls her husband, but because of the emotional resonance her story has with millions who have experienced betrayal, neglect, or the pain of staying too long in a relationship that drains rather than nourishes. For years, Christine was seen on Sister Wives as the devoted wife who tried to smile through the sting of favoritism, who cooked and cared for her children in the shadow of a husband whose affections grew narrower and colder with time, who admitted that her dreams of a united polygamous family were slipping through her fingers like sand while Robin Brown rose as the clear center of Kody's attention. Fans watched in heartbreak as Christine tried to fight for her marriage, then found her voice in moments of quiet defiance, like telling Kody that intimacy could not exist without love, or standing up to his dismissive remarks about her value within the family unit. When she finally walked away in 2021, there was a mix of shock and celebration across the fandom, because while some wondered how she would survive outside the carefully constructed world of the Brown clan, others cheered her bravery, knowing deep down that she deserved far more than what Kody was willing, or even capable, of giving her. What makes her new chapter so compelling, and why it has everyone talking, is not just the fact that she left Kody, but that she has flourished so beautifully since leaving, shattering the stereotype that women in plural marriages are trapped forever. She found love again with David, a man who not only cherishes her but also embraces her children and supports her independence. Their wedding was a fairy tale affair, complete with Christine's radiant smile that seemed to tell the world she had finally come home to herself. Fans cried as they compared her glow with the weary, often tear-stained face she wore during the final years with Kody. They cried not only out of happiness for Christine but also out of grief for the years she lost, for the emotional labor she poured into a relationship that was not reciprocal, and for the universal pain of realizing that sometimes the people we love will never love us back the way we need them to. Christine's bold new chapter is also a cultural conversation about resilience, healing, and the reinvention of self after divorce. She has leaned into her career as a lifestyle influencer, sharing recipes, fitness updates, and joyful snippets of her life with David. Her social media presence is not just about selfies and hashtags, it is about rewriting the narrative of middle-aged women who are told their best days are behind them. Christine's story screams the opposite, that at any age, women can reclaim their power, find true love, and inspire others along the way. Her journey is doubly powerful because it unfolded under the glaring spotlight of reality TV, where every tear, every argument, and every vulnerable confession became part of a public archive. Millions feel like they know her, and in some ways, they do, because Christine never put on a perfect mask. She let viewers see her brokenness and her strength, her doubts and her triumphs, and that transparency is why people cry when they see her now, glowing in happiness, because they remember the Christine who quietly begged for Kody's attention only to be met with cold dismissal. The phrase Kody who captures the essence of her metamorphosis. He is no longer the axis of her world, no longer the voice that determines her worth, no longer the man who holds power over her sense of self. She has redefined herself not as one of 4 wives but as Christine, mother, wife, businesswoman, adventurer, and survivor. What makes this so emotional for viewers is that they see their own stories reflected in hers, the courage to leave a toxic marriage, the possibility of love after heartbreak, the strength to raise children amid chaos, and the determination to live authentically even when others disapprove. Kody's narrative may still dominate headlines with his defensiveness, his claims of betrayal, and his endless blame-shifting, but Christine's narrative has eclipsed his emotional impact, because hers is about hope, growth, and triumph. Fans talk about her glow, her laughter, her playfulness with David, and her bond with her children. They cry because they know what it feels like to yearn for that kind of happiness and to finally see someone achieve it after decades of struggle. Christine's bold new chapter is also a sobering reminder of how polygamy can devastate women emotionally when favoritism rears its head, and it opens broader conversations about whether the structure of such marriages inherently fosters inequality. While Christine no longer lives in that world, her departure has become a symbol for those still inside it, proof that leaving is possible, and thriving afterward is more than possible. That's why her story resonates so deeply, why fans cry when they watch her laugh freely with David on Instagram Lives or when they see her twirling in a wedding dress that symbolizes a fresh start, because they remember the Christine who once said she felt like she wasn't enough. Now, she is more than enough, and the world knows it. Kody may remain entrenched in bitterness, pointing fingers at his exes, clinging to control over what remains of his fractured family, but Christine has moved on so completely that his name is little more than a reminder of a past life, hence the resounding sentiment, Kody who? Her bold new chapter is not only about her marriage to David but also about her spiritual and emotional rebirth. She travels, she laughs, she sings, she posts makeup-free selfies, she shows vulnerability about her late son Garrison, and she celebrates milestones with her daughters. Each moment is a declaration of freedom and authenticity. For those who have followed Sister Wives for over a decade, watching Christine now is like watching a butterfly emerge after years in a cocoon of neglect. And that transformation has sparked a global conversation. Fans are inspired, critics are silenced, and viewers everywhere are reminded that it is never too late to start over. People cry for the Christine who endured, but they also cry tears of joy for the Christine who triumphed, proving that love, laughter, and fulfillment are not bound by age, by circumstance, or by the mistakes of the past. In the end, Christine's story is not just about leaving Kody, it is about finding herself, and in doing so, she has become one of the most powerful examples of resilience in modern reality television. That is why her bold new chapter has everyone talking and crying, because it is rare to witness such a raw, public rebirth of a woman who refused to be defined by the man who once overlooked her. It's Christine's era now, and the world is here for it.